Ever since the dawn of ages, people have had a particular obsession for gold. Whether its value or its shiny appearance, gold has always been a coveted and precious metal that drove people to turn the world upside down looking for it. A combination of the elements of an Indiana Jones treasure hunt, suspense, and a promise of tapping into undiscovered riches. That is precisely what the series Bering Sea Gold brings to the table. Set in Nome, Alaska, Bering Sea Gold is a reality series that follows a group of miners dredging Alaska's Bering Sea for gold, coming from the creators of Deadliest Catch. It first premiered in January 2012 on Discovery Channel and has run for 14 seasons. The series was initially divided into a summer dredging season entitled Bering Sea Gold and a spring season entitled Bering Sea Gold Under the Ice. However, the latter show's title was changed to Bering Sea Gold, identical to the original show's title. Every season of the show revolves around a different group of gold miners. The show has had a huge cast, several of whom are mentioned in the following stories. Hailing from New Mexico, Ken Kerr is one of the cast members who joined the show in the 10th season, which premiered in 2019. The proud owner of a 600-ton dredging machine, Myrtle Irene, quickly rose through the ranks, emerging as one of the most skilled miners. And for a good reason. Since appearing on the show, he's proven to be a heavy miner, going after the biggest and the most formidable challenges every season. Talking to the media, Ken disclosed that he inherited his passion for gold and gold mining from his father, who mined for the desirable metal in New Mexico. Besides being the captain of the monstrous dredger Myrtle Irene, Ken is the co-owner of Arctic Sea and Arctic Gold Mining companies, on both sea and land. In 2016, Ken and his partner Dave Young took over nearly 9,000 acres of mining leases and over 350 patented mining claims. Initially called Nome Gold Alaska, but later changed to Arctic Gold Mining LLC. Ken also appeared in the 2020 show with a similar format entitled Gold Rush: The Dirt. When the 13th season of the show premiered in April 2021, the fans were shocked to see that the show didn't feature their favorite miner, Ken Kerr, causing a commotion on social media, especially Twitter. However, it did feature his expensive mining vessel, Myrtle Irene, now operated by Ken's longtime foe, Sean Pomrenke, another cast member, which came as a huge shock. Wondering how that happened, fans took to Twitter to discuss why Sean was captaining Ken's ship. Myrtle Irene is worth at least $5 million, making it the most expensive vessel on the show. And naturally, it's not something you would hand over to someone who is not on good terms with you. Since appearing on the show, Ken shared the spotlight with Sean, the only miner to match his operations. Whether you like or hate Ken for his greedy and self-centered nature, the fact remains that he's made the show more entertaining, adding a dose of vigorous competitiveness. The question of why Ken didn't return to the series doesn't have a definitive answer, and has spawned several theories about it. However, even though Ken didn't star regularly in the show, he made a brief appearance in the episode entitled A Dredge Full of Dollars, in which Sean convinces Ken's partner Dave Young to join him on his future journeys. In addition, Ken says that he opted for beach mining and leaves on good terms with Dave. Weird, right? However, not everyone was convinced with this story, and some viewers thought there must be more to it. Additionally, it only added to the confusion that the producers didn't make an official statement regarding his status, but instead placed an odd and seemingly scripted cameo of Ken. Some theories suggest that it might have had something to do with Ken's lawsuit. In October 2018, two Nome high schoolers sued Ken's company, Arctic Gold Mining, after he and his team failed to put up a warning sign and inform them of a long cable placed in the middle of the road. The two girls, in the company of a third friend, drove a pickup truck and crashed against the cable, as a result of which the car was nearly totaled, while the teenagers suffered severe injuries. Initially, the two sisters filed the lawsuit and were later joined by their third friend seeking over $100,000 on top of other expenses. Their attorney, Myron Angstrom, talked about the amount they asked for, saying, "One is the cost of out-of-pocket expenses that they have generated by the accident. In this case, that's primarily medical. One of the second factors, then, is any future medical or counseling expense that may be involved, and we have not yet determined what that might consist of. What the conclusion of this court case was remains a mystery, but it's believed that Kerr incurred considerable financial loss from this legal battle. However, given that this happened in 2018, it's hard to believe that he was written out of the show after 3 years of his legal troubles. But the money issues might have played a part in it, considering that dredging calls for significant investment. Another theory posited was that fans were tired of his reckless management of Myrtle Irene, as he constantly added more cost and put his expensive boat and scores of dredges through so much. Fans felt that Sean was better fitted to operate the vessel and use its resources. However, this theory has several holes. If true, it's doubtful that Ken would conform to such an agreement cooperatively. But considering the lack of information, we have to keep guessing. Given how things were concluded with the 13th season, it's hard to establish whether Ken will reappear in the show. At the moment, there is no information surrounding his role, and creators and producers are yet to address his status. The 14th season of the show premiered in October 2021, with new cast members Sean Pomrenke, Zeke Tenhoff, Chris Kelly, Brad Kelly, Vernon Atkinson, and Gary Panos Jr. However, viewers noted that another well-known miner was missing, Emily Rydell, the captain of the Eroica. She is one of the original members, starting since the first season, and being the daughter of Steve Rydell, another popular miner. As one of the few female members in this dangerous business, she quickly became a fan favorite with a loyal audience. In addition to her gold mining endeavors, Emily is also a YouTuber with nearly 30,000 subscribers. Regarding her absence from the show, she revealed, in January 2021, "I came down with COVID-19. It was a pretty mild case at the time, but one thing was weird about it. I had really terrible chest pain. I went to the ER and did some tests, and they sent me home." However, it took her a long time to recover, and given that ice mining is exceptionally laborious, it posed a huge problem for her. She would constantly feel weak, combined with numbness in her limbs and shortness of breath. So basically, she chose to walk away from the series. Emily ended her YouTube video positively, saying, "You will see us this summer. I just want to say thank you for being supportive fans, and to Discovery Channel and Original Production. They have always been very chill about me leaving ice mining." Interestingly, the cast is rife with legal problems or run-ins with the law. For example, Ken Kerr's nemesis, Sean Pomrenke, was arrested on several occasions for driving under the influence, DUI. During one of these unfortunate incidents, Sean, known as Mr. Gold, was caught without his court-ordered breathalyzer. However, since 2013, he hasn't been involved in any further problems with the law. Another member who has locked horns with the judicial system is Yvonne Atkinson, the daughter of Vern Atkinson. In 2014, she was arrested on multiple drug charges for possession and distribution of heroin. Troopers with the Western Alaska Alcohol and Narcotics Team from Nome and Anchorage executed a search warrant on a home and found 10 grams of heroin, scales, packaging material, and nearly $2,000 in cash. She took a plea deal and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Even though mining gold seems to be a fascinating job filled with the glow of a new quest and Herculean task, many forget that it's a hazardous profession, and not everyone is cut out for it. In 2013, one of the cast members, John Bunce, died at the age of 26. John previously worked with Zeke Tenhoff of The Edge and was reportedly a very dear friend of his. Other members of the vessel were left devastated, as were the fans. Even though he worked in a very hazardous line of business, he didn't die at sea or mining gold, but passed away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. However, the creators tried to boost the show's popularity by editing an episode in which they disclosed the unfortunate death of John, as if it had happened on the job. Obviously, this raised some eyebrows. On the other hand, death is not uncommon in this profession. Other cast members have lost their friends on the sea, while Emily Rydell talked about her near-death experience on The Larry King Show. The passionate miner revealed that one time while diving at sea, She had returned to the surface as she ran out of oxygen. But when she surfaced, found herself near a dread ship, rendering her unable to move. Luckily, she received the help she needed. As regards numeration, and as happens with every reality series, the cast's paychecks fluctuate over the year and depend largely on the show's popularity. According to the latest sources, the cast pay is between $10,000 to $25,000. The richest cast member on the show is Sean Pomrenke, with an estimated net worth of $3 million. Other cast members aren't far behind. Brad Kelly, Vernon Atkinson, and Ken Kerr share a similar wealth in the range of $2 million plus. Talking of reality series in general, drama and fighting are essential elements and never fail to sustain viewers or attract new ones. So it's not surprising that most of the fights are scripted, but according to reports, what transpired during the reunion episode was as authentic as it can get. The Wild Ranger crew got into a physical altercation after Vern Adkins, the owner of the vessel, operated by Captain Scott Meisterheim, shared his opinion on Scott's leadership and management, accusing him of lying, cheating, and stealing. Red-faced and furious, Vern called him a side piece of dog crap, a gutless piece of shit, and said, "I hired him to be the captain on my boat, but he maliciously damaged my equipment." Obviously, Scott didn't take that lightly and threw a drink at Vern's face, after which a scuffle ensued. Reportedly, police and paramedics were called to the scene. Both Vern and Scott sustained minor injuries, but the incident ended there. So what are the biggest gold hauls on Bering Sea Gold? In 2017, Sean literally struck gold after extracting a colossal bounty, 1,316 ounces, worth over $1 million. Other notable hauls include Sean's performance in the 13th season, in which he collected 117 ounces, worth around $225,000. However, he managed to top that by mining over 214 ounces, worth a staggering $425,000 during the next season. Well, you can't say that these hardy participants don't deserve their money. After all, isn't this series popular because we get a thrill from watching their activities? But it's not something that the vast majority of us would ever engage in ourselves. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.